Hold on, I might have to reset this. Goodness sake, what the heck? Uh-oh. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It looks like they didn't update Rumble. But anyway, hello everyone. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short. And this is Darachat, of course. And of course, I am with the one and only is it Demonic Rebel?
Demonic Rebellion was my original handle, and I changed it to the Wandering Clown.
The Wandering Clown. Okay. Well, no, it's just your at is like Demonic Rebel. So I was like, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that's like being a rebel. But that's an interesting name. That's an interesting name to have, though. So why choose that one?
Which one?
Well, the first one.
Demonic Rebellion. I randomly thought of that name when I was moderating for cam models back in the day.
Ooh. Oh, well, interesting. Um, and why'd you change it to the Wandering Clown then? Because of that or something else?
I changed it to the Wandering Clown because it's more in line with my personality.
Oh, like clownish behavior or just clownish acts?
Just clowning on people's stupidity.
Well, that's pretty much an multitude of supply right there. Goodness sake. Did you oh, what was it? Did you see that one content creator that was driving that expensive car?
Yeah, Jack Doherty.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, I can't remember, but that was just dumb. Jeez, you would think it's someone to be smart enough to know not to drive. Be careful in the rain, right? Because it is slippery. But to drive in the rain, looking at your phone in a very expensive car, and then yeah, it's just wow. There were not a lot of brain cells there.
I mean, when you start your career on foolish behavior, that's what you gotta continue doing. That's how he gets his views, by doing foolish stuff on the internet.
Yeah, there were some others. Now, I don't know too much about him though. What do you know about him, Jack Doherty?
That just that he's got his start by walking in like public areas like a mall or something, and intentionally would bump into guys to try and start an altercation while having a security guard to step in.
That was that's jeez. That is
Yeah, you can find videos of him when he doesn't have his security guard, and he just runs away like really fast because everyone wants to press him now because, well, that's what he's known for.
jeez. It was it sort of reminds me of the Johnny Somali case, to be honest. Going to do dumb things, but he went to a different country to do that, and so he got the boot for that one. But he's still going around doing the same old stuff at a different country.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I just saw his latest foolishness in Korea, I think it was.
Oh, what did he do this time?
Eating noodles and like dumping the broth on the counter and just, you know.
I'm not surprised he's still alive because that you'd expect that there'd be people like underground or whatever. They'd come and just make him disappear, you know. But yeah, that whole thing with him was dumb. And then of course you have Jake Paul. That's probably one of the biggest ones out there, right? One of the biggest dumb people out there, or at least dumb creators, I would think. Yeah, because he is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Because they're brothers, right? I believe they're brothers.
I
And
know that
so,
they're brothers, but I don't know enough about the Pauls to differentiate between them. I know that one's doing the Lunchley thing with
oh, that's
Mr.
right.
Beast, and then
Hmm.
the other's doing like boxing old MMA fighters.
Yeah, because I remember there was a story about one of them doing one with Tyson. I think that was a story that one was going to fight Tyson or something like that, but I don't think it went through.
No, it never happened, I don't think.
Jeez, insane. It just goes to show you how much uh, idiocy gets rewarded on the uh, content creation realm. I mean, you see it almost. I would think you'd see it almost all as have these silly stuff, stupid stuff, or negative stuff, where just specifically on YouTube, right? Because that's where a majority of people are at. It's billions of people, and it's it just seems like the algorithm rewards those sort of people when they do like the thumbnails and stuff, right? Have you seen those thumbnails where they just have their mouth open or face covered or whatever, and it's just crazy, just
Yeah,
crazy.
they give a look of guffaw and they put it on every thumbnail.
It's insane. I mean I get it because it is playing to the algorithm, but it's like, do you have no ingenuity at all to make something different? It's it's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks, but it just barks at you for a biscuit, and you're like, all right, well, if you're not going to do anything,
Right?
oh my goodness,
The difference is that with the dog, you actually love him, so you give him the biscuit anyway.
it's true. Well, yeah, unless it's like one of the rabid dogs, then might have an issue there. But no, that is true. But yeah, it's just I've seen too many of those content creators that I tend to skip anything. Yeah, no, that's understandable too. Hello, by the way, um, because it doesn't make sense. Like when you start seeing a lot of content creators following that route, you know why they're following it. It's because so they can get the exposure, right? No matter what their stuff is, they do it to get the exposure of the YouTube algorithm because that's mostly where their stuff is at, is on YouTube. And yeah, it just shows you don't really have anything more than just that. It's just silly. It's just silly all around. It's irritating, not relevant. Yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? It makes sense for um, you would think a content creator, especially if you're talking like Mr. Beast, right? Who does that as well. But he makes those game shows and stuff, but he's in his own hot water. Um, yeah, yeah, and all that stuff. That's a fun time for him. But unfortunately, when it comes to say like the Paul brothers or what was the one girl that's on YouTube? Starts with an S.
Sniper or something.
Yeah, sniper. Yeah, I know it's sniper. It's an animal. I think it's an animal that she sniper wolf. That's right, sniper wolf. And I think she just does the same thing too, where she just does reaction. Oh my goodness! You know what? There are some cases where reaction videos and stuff are fine, right? Like you're reacting to someone's creation. Some of it is educational, right? You're reacting to someone's music or this or that, whatever. But when you have these people who just watch a whole thing through, and really don't give any credence to it, what is this? What is this?
It's for lonely people that don't have friends so they can watch the video with someone else.
Yeah, but they can do that through Discord though. I know people do like movie movie streams through Discord. They do TV show streams. They do a bunch of different watching. What do they call it? Watch parties, I think they call it,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
in Discord. And I know there was something that Twitch had because Amazon, right, where people could, if they were following the content creator, whatever, they'd be able to join this watch party and watch something if they had a Prime membership, right? If they had a
Yeah.
Prime membership, they could join in and watch what they're watching, but it wouldn't show on the screen of Twitch. Which, to be honest, I at that point you might as well just make a recording and do commentary and then have that to be that. Just does not make any sense. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's some reactionary stuff I get. Some reactionary stuff is just it's just to get the numbers, is what it seems like.
What's really funny is when you see a video come out on digital, and then the immediate moment that it happens, you see like three or four different people doing a reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the most strangest of parts because because it's sort of like what I feel content creators right now when they're talking about, the what's going like the 24/7 news server deal, like talk about, oh, here's the acolyte, oh, here's Ubisoft and all that, and they're pretty much talking on the same point, giving similar opinions, and they're not really doing anything different. Um, it's just, yeah, it feels very contrived. And Carrie says, it feels as though they are marketing toward little children and not intelligent. Well, to be honest, I think that's what the market is, right? Because I've heard stories of where majority of the people that are watching on the YouTube scale, right, are kids, right? Watching the Fortnite videos, watching gaming, all this stuff. It's mostly just kids watching on it, right?
Well,
Um,
yeah, that's because YouTube's become the new babysitter. You just sit the kid down in front of YouTube and go off and do whatever else.
yeah, I remember when parents would just put in a video, VHS cassette,
Yep,
and
that
then
was the old babysitter.
yep, or just whatever television show. Sesame Street used to be good for that, and then it was, it's only on at a certain time, so it's not whatever. But yeah, it's the babysitter has changed. Now it's either like iPads, iPhones, or a sort of form of your computer, and you really, some parents just don't deal with their kids, which is kind of, goes with Carrie saying is they're going towards marketing towards children than intelligent consumers. Which again, if you're having ads of Cialis running across your thing and a YouTube thing, are you really that intelligent? I just, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Luckily, I don't see any ads on YouTube. I got
Mm.
the fiance put me on her family plan, so I get
Oh,
the YouTube Premium.
yeah,
It's nice.
yeah. I just use Brave. Um, I'm not gonna give them like $15 for whatever crap they're doing. Um, and it's a funny thing too is a lot of people. What was it? Um, some extension got shut down. I think it was the uBlock or something like that. And so far, I've not used any extension whatsoever for Brave in order to block ads. So there's that. But I digress. I know a lot of people were worried because Brave is Chromium, but I don't see how well that would work if it's against YouTube in the manner of the ad stuff. So yeah, just because it uses Chromium doesn't mean it's the same as Google, but that's a totally different aspect. Um, but yeah, so what kind of content creators do you watch then? If you're watching content creators,
Oh, I watch It's a Gundam.
ooh,
I
nice.
watch I watch side scrollers from time to time when I can catch them live.
Hey, Steve.
Uh, but mostly when I watch stuff on YouTube, it's like old Bob Ross videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, those are nice ones.
Y-
We're just gonna there's no it's all happy accidents right there. We're all just gonna paint a little cloud over there. Gotta mix your greens and blues. Gonna make a nice little color.
Oh yeah. And then
Right?
I listen to audiobooks on there as well while I play like Civ 5 or something.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I haven't watched It's a Gundam stuff in a while, but dude, the man is like getting backhanded by YouTube almost all the time. He just does not get a rest from YouTube, and yet he still. I mean, he branched out to X, so there is that. But he just keeps getting, yeah.
He gets
He's,
bullied on there. I've noticed that he doesn't get as much time on the feed on X as well.
yeah. Their system
Well,
is a bit. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you have spicy takes, they tend to make your takes not as viewable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's on Odyssey too, but that really doesn't do much for him. Or he's been in there long enough that he has a certain amount of subscribers, but he doesn't really. It's not really his main focus because he doesn't get paid, I think, as much as he does on YouTube. So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, just be when you're. I've always stated this is that content creators they can't just be on one platform anymore, unfortunately, because if you've been watching like the stories of YouTube and the stories of Twitch, yeah, those people get screwed over hand and fist if you're just on those singularly. And I think the recent one for Twitch was something to do with a VTuber. Like they're wrongly accused of some rule breaking, whatever, and it's just another fiasco ending in Y.
Something about VTubers showing hips or something like that. And I was like, isn't that what majority of your top streamers do?
Yeah, what about Amaranth? Come on.
Like, what what are you talking about right now?
Yeah,
You,
it's insane. It's insane how un what word do I use? How unbalanced their rule. What's the word?
enforcement is.
Yeah, rule enforcement. Good, thank you for that. How unbalanced their rule enforcement is, and it's just like, but wait, you have what was it? The whole how many years ago was it that the whole hot tub stream thing happened? Like it was just one after the other, just
Oh, I don't even know. That was like maybe 2 years, not even.
yeah.
It doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it might have been way longer.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna end up being one of those things where someone tells us how long ago it was, and it makes us feel older.
Whoa, yeah. I'm already starting to feel that. But it's like it wasn't just hot tub streams. It was like there was some story about like one girl had like this little waiting pool in her room, and she's like, "Come on, seriously?"
Well, anything to funnel views over to their other websites.
Yeah, and Amaranth already has money coming through other businesses, so it's like, what the hell? Jeez Louise! But you're not wrong because it's mostly just OnlyFans at this point, I believe, or some other place.
Yeah, it's just to funnel the views over there. It's to show just enough to entice someone into spending their money on this
Mm,
website, but ultimately try to get them to go to their primary website.
yeah, which has been an argument I've seen many times with like because the age limit on Twitch, right? Or I think it's like 13 or something years old can be on Twitch, and then you see all these ladies there. It's like, yeah, but again, it comes to that unbalancement of rule enforcement, and once you see it, it's hard to move away from it and say, you guys don't apply your rules on a reasonable basis. You actually have favoritism.
Well, if we got back to the at least one parent being in the household watching kids and being more authoritative with their parenting instead
Mm,
of just handing them whatever device like we was talking about earlier, then
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
maybe things be a little bit better, but probably not.
yeah. I
But
mean,
to try and trust a multi-billion-dollar corporation to enforce their rules on an even basis when someone like Amaranth or something's giving them money hand over fist just from being on their platform,
mm,
yeah, I don't trust it. Just like how you'll probably won't see Mr. Beast go anywhere anytime soon until
yeah.
something definitive happens.
Yeah, that's the unfortunateness of it all. Because again, he has his philanthropy stuff, of course, but he also is one of their biggest. um, follower count. I guess he has like 200 and something million. I can't remember. He has one of the biggest follower counts out there. It used to be PewDiePie, and then PewDiePie got went in his own thing, so he got overtaken. But yeah, it's yeah, you're not wrong. It's the silliest of it all, and yeah, to trust Twitch to apply its rules how they should be is like asking a small child not to go into the cookie jar and get the cookie. It basically what it is at this point.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because they're not gonna swat their own hand and stop making the money that they're bringing in from it. Why
yeah,
would they do that?
yeah. I mean, they what was it? There was I think like sometime last year they had said they were gonna stop having access in Korea. I think it was, and or yeah, South Korea. Sorry, they were gonna have access in South Korea because it was just so expensive to the bitrate stuff, and um, and taking that out, and they just went wild, right? South Korea was like, look, you're gonna leave anyway. You might as well go wild." There were ladies doing all sorts of stuff. I'm like, "She's." They want to get their money before the money dries up. Goodness, but it goes to show that they weren't really there to create content. They were just there to get paid, which I mean, more power to them because the platform does that. But it shows they weren't there to make content. They were just there to, yeah, yeah, naked, almost naked, come and watch me, that sort of thing. It's just, yeah,
Which
just
is really upsetting because then people that are on there trying to make actual content aren't getting nearly as many views or as much of a push because they don't have all the money being generated from tips and donations.
yeah. And Twitch's cut take is enormous. It's like 50-50 or something like that. That's a crazy.
Well,
That's
that's why Kick's coming in and trying to take up the market, and they've got money just to throw around, being backed by a gambling service.
yeah, stake. Yeah, and there's I was like, yeah, that makes sense. If they can just do whatever, it's sort of they got money to burn, and I think they do allow some of the gambling on that site, but I'm not too sure because I know there were some content creators that were doing gambling while using Twitch and all that. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, but they're also on the same server system as Twitch, which is Amazon, and so they're not really, you know, they may be giving Amazon a big cut, obviously, but they're still in a spot where they could be like whatever Parler was ages ago, that got just stripped away, for whatever reason. Um, but yeah, they got money to burn because they're backed by somebody, and it's insane.
Well, I think that Twitch is in a precarious position because if it doesn't constantly bring in a certain amount of money, then Amazon could just say, "Yeah, we're done with this," and shut it down whenever because what do they care?
Yeah, it's theirs, right? Because it's Amazon's pet project, I would think, right? You know,
Basically,
yeah. Because if people don't understand, YouTube is Google's, so all that data and stuff from YouTube, that's just data mining for them.
oh yeah,
It's just why do you think you have to have a Gmail account to use YouTube?
right.
Yep. So, but it's just fascinating to me how you know people people are gonna look at Cake and say, "Oh, it's doing so great and doing stuff." Yeah, but it's backed by somebody. It's backed by a gambling company. That's why it's able to do as well as it does. That's why it's able to do what is it the cut that it does, right? 95% to the creator, 5% to them because they don't need that huge amount of money. They already have a backer,
Right.
so they don't need that much money. But like you were saying, they can just throw it around willy nilly and um, what was it? Uh, there was supposedly there was some rumor that Sneeko had signed a contract with Kick or something like that. I don't know. Um, or at
I,
least I saw
I
the.
know that supposedly Kick was giving a deal to a guy in Florida that has a criminal record. They found out like after the fact that he's supposedly done all these horrific criminal things
Mm,
after offering him like a $2 million contract or something like that with a new boat.
that's the was it Lieutenant Dan guy?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, they're backed by gambling companies, so why wouldn't they?
You'd think that before you start offering up contracts, you'd look into somebody, but
Yeah,
no, no, let's just offer them some money. That'll work.
it'll go under the rug soon enough. Just give them the 3 million. Um, yeah, it's just that's ridiculous. But I mean, what was it? Ninja was before Mixer when Mixer was out there, right? If you remember Mixer, he was given, I believe it was like 100 million or so to go on to Mixer, and I'm like, holy crap,
That's a
holy,
lot of money,
that's a lot of because he was known as the Fortnite guy, right?
right?
Ninja, crazy as it is, and then Mixer closed down, obviously, and then I believe he went to Kick or no, yeah, I believe he went to Kick because they were offering him something, but I don't know the amount. I think they kind of just like 50 million or something like that, because he was still worth the bones the views he was producing, I guess. Um, but yeah, that is just a lot of money to be thrown around. I mean, good for them, get your bag, but at the end of the day, you start slowly beginning to realize: are these people creating content for content's sake, or are they just doing it because, ooh, I got millions and millions of dollars, and all I got to do is just play a silly game for there to be views, and it's just yeah, you know,
Yeah, I can't find how much he was offered. I just Googled it real quick to see if I could find it, but yeah, I couldn't figure out which one Ninja went to, but wherever he went, I imagine they still offered him quite a bit of money because he was, as far as I know, he still is known as the Fortnite guy, unless he's been usurped by somebody else. But I
this
don't follow Fortnite enough to know.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's always going to be someone to usurp you after a while because you're not going to be useful forever. Um, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see try to see Ninja still doing this at 65.
Well, have you seen? I think it's called Grandpa Gamer. He's a retired. I think he's a retired Army or Marine sniper,
Mhm.
and he plays like I think it's Battlefield or something like that
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a sniper rifle, and he'll tell you exactly how he's gonna make the shot happen before he offs someone across the map.
I heard about that because there was a video on Twitter X going around, and it was showing an older gentleman, so I'm assuming it's him. And it was just showing him like doing like a straight shot and all this stuff. And their little captions or whatever. So yeah, I have heard about that, but that's insane. There's other older people doing streaming content as well. It's just not as widely known per se, right?
Oh
It's,
yeah, like speaking of the reaction channels that we was talking about earlier, there was a reaction channel I'd seen that was two rockin' grannies, and they react to like metal songs and stuff.
oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's something in its own right. Cause yeah, that'd be funny. There was what was it? There was one grandma. I don't know if she's a grandma or not, but there was one old lady who was sort of like a statue collector. I think it was more anime ones, but she was a statue collector, and she'd do like unboxings and stuff like that. But I don't remember her name. But they do exist. The older streamers, but
I remember when the loot crates were all in the rage, where you could buy like the subscription service and it'd send you like a box of collectible items. and watching the unboxing videos of those were cool.
Yeah, the only thing I know of the loot boxes is that the Overwatch stuff, right? Because that's where I've heard the term loot boxes use that. Um, but yeah, you can get. I mean, there are places out there where you could buy candy from different countries and just have that come to you and all that stuff. Um, I've tried a few, but yeah, to have a loot creative store, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it was pretty cool back when it was first got going. After a while, it started getting cheaper with what they put in it.
Yeah.
But in its infancy, it was pretty nice because you could get like a limited edition Deadpool shirt or something like
Ooh,
that.
that's nice. Did you go see the Deadpool Wolverine?
Oh yeah, I got to see it opening weekend.
Oh, what do
My
you think?
fiance and I went and saw it. I liked it. It wasn't as good as the first two, but I expected that going into it
Hmm.
because that's just the nature of sequels.
Yep.
But it I felt like it did what it set out to do, which was to be a head nod and like a bow to the audience
Hmm.
and wave moment for the
Very
that's
nice.
my fiance right there.
Oh, hello. How are you? The River Nix. That's a bit of Greek mythology. I think that is the river. Oh, River Styx. Sorry, I'm thinking of the River Styx. But well, hello and congratulations. See, now you call her Beyonce, and I'm thinking
My
the actual.
fiance.
Oh, fiance. I'm like, I was hearing Beyonce's like, holy crap, that's amazing. How'd you land that?
I'm very charismatic.
your your charm and charisma just drip off you like morning dew is just all over the place.
I'm as cool as a cucumber chilling on an iceberg.
Till a seal gets you or something. Oh goodness. Well, hello, the River Nix. I'm glad you're here. Um, so how long have you guys been in the process of that? Going to get married and all that stuff.
We've been engaged since around April of this year. We met on X.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, nice. I know you hear the stories, right, of like WoW and like League of Legends and all stuff. Hey, now I am amazing. Look, see, there you go, right there. Can't argue with that because I don't know you well enough, so I don't want to argue with that. but 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 yeah, that's pretty interesting because again, you hear those stories like online stuff or whatever, and that's pretty neat. It's close. It's a multi-layered reference. Oh, okay, okay, I see. All right. Well, thank you for that. Um, he's not wrong. See, bologna is just whole is hot dog pancakes. What? Bologna is just hot dog. Well, okay, I can see that. They're just gonna flatten it out, and he's not wrong. Yeah,
And a fried bologna sandwich is just a campfire hot dog.
it's true. Well, what about spam then?
That's just an abomination. That's a slight against God.
and on that day, the most unholiest of things was ever created, the schlop. Um, yeah, because I've seen there's a place in Hawaii where they have a restaurant dedicated to making food items. That well, not dedicated, but they do have an area where they
Oh
make.
yeah. Spam's part of the Hawaiian national culture because of their World War II when we introduced it over there.
Yeah, and it's still sold in stores. I mean, anyone can go buy it, but still, I just think ask him the wildest part about us meeting. Okay, all right. Well, she did put it out there, so what's the wildest part about you guys meeting?
That we lived right up the road from one another. I'm not sure what she's talking about with that.
Ooh, wow. Oh, that is a small world. Holy crap. Jeez. That is a small world after all. Wow.
She's got to be careful asking questions. I don't have a filter.
Oh, hey, you know what? Uh, no no big game rewards, and everything else is good. Um, I'm in Hawaii. Spam is great. Oh, there you go. You already got someone disagreeing with you right there.
I'm fine with it.
um, but yeah, you're not wrong. It's sort of become their food staple in a sense. Not like the only food, but Hawaii is a cutoff place, and they can't have like a McDonald's or KFC like we can't have inland because we have roads and they're kind of cut off.
Spam's definitely an integral part of the culture over there, as far as what I know.
Mm,
Yep,
yeah,
it's a World War II thing. There you go.
yeah. The World War II thing. Yep. No, no. I kind of figured, because it was just a compact way of getting a protein. Oh, okay. So she agrees. That's the one she was talking about, being right up the road from one another. So there you go. You got it. An acquired taste. Yeah, no, I can agree. I can agree. Spam is a an acquired taste. I've never tried it myself, but I wouldn't eat it raw. Huh? Huh? Mm-mm. No, I'd have to fry it or something. But even then, I imagine frying it is not going to help it either. Popular in Guam too. Dear goodness, they have some weird
Makes
taste.
sense.
Uh,
Another Pacific island that we was heavily in during the World War II era,
mm,
and still today, as far as I know. I've never been to Guam though.
yeah, I think it's because isn't Guam where Guantanamo Bay is? I think it is. Yeah, I don't know if it's there now.
No,
But
Guantanamo Bay was Cuba.
oh, Cuba. Okay, it's going off the name of it. Spam musubi is a great way to have it. I don't know what that is, but sure. Spam meat. That's World War. Yeah, of course it is World War II meat. That's what we're trying to say. Yeah, it's a territory. I lived there for 3 years. Oh, okay. All right. So what are you saying? Oh, it's a Hawaii thing. So okay, so you did live in Hawaii, Abe. Um, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I bet you didn't want to leave though, because it's all nice weather, whatever. But still, I'm sure it has its own issues. Um,
Oh yeah. I imagine the cost of milk in Hawaii is outrageous.
oh, oh, yeah. Same for Alaska. I'm pretty sure it's no better. Oh, you're still in Hawaii. Oh, okay. I thought you said you had lived in Hawaii. All right, apologies. That's pretty awesome. Um, I have some pretty advanced spam filters set up to keep that stuff away from me. To keep spam away from you. Gitmo is on Cuba. Okay. Okay. Cuba today. Costco is the place to shop. Okay, so you do have a Costco. That's interesting. A Costco on an island. I've never been to Hawaii, personally. I had grandparents that went to it because World War II stuff, right? Family members served in World War II and all that.
Yeah.
Uh, so there was that. But I've never been to Hawaii, but I know a lot of people who live in like when it becomes winter, whatever, would love to either go to Florida or Hawaii. But the cost of living in Hawaii, I don't doubt are high.
I
Because
live in Texas, so the weather's nice all around.
yeah, yeah, I've actually talked to a few different people from Texas, so that's pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, it's during the summer though where it's like a sweltering death ray on you, isn't it?
Nah, feels great.
Yeah, this is nothing at all. What's that smell like bacon?
You can ask my fiance about it. That's where her and I differentiate. She wants to go somewhere colder when it's super hot out, and I'm just fine with it.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I know there's a lot of Hawaii's modern, costly, and not all the great places to eat. Yeah, that's understandable. I all I remember is there was I don't know if you know, but the Travel Channel or whatnot, they'd go to like different places, the restaurants and stuff. And one of them was in Hawaii where they served the spam as sort of a main dictionary sort of thing. Um, yeah, that was just an interesting. Of course, it made me hungry, but yeah, um, no Bucky's here either. I don't have a Bucky's where I am either, so I feel your pain. I have
Bucky's
like,
great.
oh yeah, no, I've heard plenty of great things. There was, have you ever seen the picture that goes around where like the board that shows like the different levels of pay and stuff? Like you could be this, get this much pay, this, all that.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that, and but yeah, you guys would have it more down there. I'm in Indiana, so the best I've got is Love, the Love 24-hour gas station. That's pretty much it. But Bucky's, I heard, is pretty awesome because it's like a gas slash grocery store place with uh um car.
Bucky's is Bucky's is basically a redneck shopping mall.
I'll accept that. Yeah, I can believe it. Me and him have a different definitions of nice. Well, I can believe that as well. I can believe that. I just want seasons. Hey, look, let me tell you this. All right, summer, sure, right? Except for the humidity, it can get pretty bad. Fall, great. It's a cool down point. It'll get colder in the morning, but during the day it'll still be warm. Winter, no. Winter, no.
See, I'm from Toledo, Ohio originally, so
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you would have dealt with like the lake effect snow, and that's
Yeah.
mm-mm, man. It so this year, right? This year in Indiana, at some point, at some parts, it was like -10, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
see. I don't miss that.
I when your car can't start, that's when you know it's cold. Um, that's when you know it's real cold, and you're just like, yeah, I'm not going into work today. My cart won't even move. That's how cold it is. Planning to hit the Daytona Beach Buckies next week. Oh well, congratulations and good luck to you. I know there's lots of them in the South, but up here, like in the Midwest, whatever, not so much, or at all, to be honest. She says I pass a Bucky's every day on my way to work. Oh, that's awesome.
You,
Um,
I think the closest one to you is probably in Tennessee.
yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue. I'm not going to go all the way to Tennessee for a Bucky's. Maybe one
Yeah,
day they'll come up. What was that?
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, especially not after since the hurricane stuff, right? Because there are parts of Texas and Kentucky they're still needing to clean up and all that. So that's going to be something. A cakewalk. If you've lived in Texas, yes, but the humidity factor is what kills it. At least for me, right? I can handle a dry heat, but once you add humidity to it, and oh, okay, so what we had was for a week, we had a whole week of high heat, high humidity, right? And if you know what high humidity is, you can sweat and sweat and sweat and sweat, but you'll never cool off. It's just killer like that. And so for a whole week, we had that. It was like 90 plus, and the humidity didn't make it any better. It's just mm-mm. I don't envy people who live in Texas. Only during winter I would, but even then. The same with Florida. Same with Florida. Electric cars will refuse to work in cold, extreme cold. But yes, yeah, any battery will refuse to work in extreme cold. That's why, um, like when it gets like the below zero sort of thing, that's when you know that either it will or won't. And what do they call it? Like they call it something vortex. The
Polar vortex.
polar vortex. That's right. That's right. I was like, God, it started with a P. The polar vortex, and I think that was last year or the year before. But you guys got hit pretty well down there as well for winter once.
Yeah, we got an ice storm down here. It's nice.
Yeah.
It knocked out the power for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. I I just put on my hoodie and sat around the house. The only thing that made it a bummer for me was my computer wouldn't turn on.
That's true. Yeah, but a lot of people weren't used to it as you're used to it. So you had a bit of an advantage. Guys, what's the matter? It's just a little ice.
That's right.
Yeah, but I know they don't have
the
That's a
infrastructure to handle it.
yeah, and it's a freak thing to happen. So why would they build it? But it's like kind of guys are kind of shut down for a while. So I don't know about that. I went to basic in South Carolina. I'm familiar. Oh, okay. So you're in military or former military? Because it sounds like you've dealt with military before.
I'll let her answer that.
Okay. I deal with the polar vortex all the time. I'm up in Seattle. Yeah, you guys are like you're like neighbors to Canada, eh? They're like right over there. Um,
The
yeah.
Seattle area was great up like around 2015. It was
Mm,
really cool up there. I was up there around that time in Bremerton.
mm. Snowmageddon 21. Yep. Yep. For some in Texas, that was the feeling. That was the feeling.
It was
Uh,
fun.
yeah. To some, I can't imagine how it was for the power outage and stuff for other people because they're just not used to dealing with it. Um, but yeah, that was an interesting. I'm sorry about Bremerton. What?
Sorry about Bremerton.
I don't know what that means for Bremerton. Never
They're
heard of it.
just they're hating on Bremerton, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was right across the street from a hospital back then. I never lost power. Look at you, Miss Lucky, right there.
She
Well,
had big brain moves.
well, hospitals are going to have backup generators too, so you have to be mindful of that. What is that Canadian accent all about? Well, because you're close to Canada, eh? You're like right close to the border, so you get all that cold and stuff, eh? All that good stuff. At least I'm trying, eh? You're over there. You're just trying to say what he's trying to do, and I'm saying, well, I'm just trying to do an accent there. Um, but yeah, Seattle. I just see Seattle as something that's, or at least from what I remember of Seattle, is that it would be uh like rainy and moisture and all this stuff because it's up there. But
Nah, so the rain isn't like Midwest rain though. It's just drizzly. It's like a mist.
oh, well, we get that too sometimes, but not all the time, which I
But
imagine
that's
they
that's
get.
all it is. They don't
Jeez.
get real rain.
Sadness. The sadness continues for those in Seattle. People died during the summer. Look, I hear you. A lot of people didn't know how to deal with um, the extreme. Well, it was extreme cold, but the cold first time. I bet a lot of kids though enjoyed having a snow day. Um, all about, yes, yes, that's what the Canadian way right there. But
Now I want maple syrup.
goodness sake, there's a uh, place here in Indiana where during the early months, right, March or February, March or something like that, where they have trees that produce sap, and so during that period of time they collect the sap and they make syrup out of it. Um, Usually, some of it's there's a whole lot or not. This year wasn't really a great harvest, so it's pretty low. But I bought like a small little bottle of natural maple syrup. But yeah, it doesn't happen very often. We only have to have a bit of bad weather. New Cane, all guys out. Yeah, well, you're a bit different over there, Steve. You're a bit different over there. Um, and then he says it rains a lot of days here, but Boston gets more rain than Seattle does. Go, yeah, okay,
That's because it just mists.
yeah. It just miss all day long, like someone taking a spray bottle and all that
It's
stuff.
fine.
Parents were losing their minds that whole week, and she's laughing about it too. She's laughing about it too.
That's why she agreed to marry me. She appreciates my dark humor.
Do you ever do the what's that question thing? Would you ever? No, is it would you ever or
Would you rather?
would you rather? Yeah, would you ever do? Have you ever done the would you rather with each other? It's like would you rather?
No, I haven't done that yet, but it makes me want to make her watch the horror movie of that.
Oh goodness, never even heard of the movie, but goodness sake, I'm not much of a horror person. Oh, not horror, but horror person. Uh,
She's not either.
it wasn't even pointing that way. Um, but yeah, because mostly horror movies are just guts, gore, all that stuff. It's some people
No,
like
no,
that.
no. See, you gotta go for the ones that are psychological horror. That's the
Yeah,
one.
the one horror movie that came out that I liked was the Megan one. That one
I
was
haven't seen
interesting.
that one.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Oh,
Nope.
it's a good one. They did do an unrated version. I don't even know if I have my copy yet, but they did do. Oh man. Oh well, I'll find it later. But yeah, they did do an unrated version, and it's supposed to be more um, bloody and all that stuff. But the one that was in theaters was pretty good because there was some blood, but it's more like AI, psychological, all that stuff, and yeah, it's a pretty good one.
I'll add it
Um,
to my list.
it's Megan. It has
Three for the E.
yeah, three for the yep, yep. And the only person I know of that's a well-known actor in it is Allison Williams, uh, because she was in like Girls, and I think she's the daughter of a very well-known news anchor. But that's pretty much it for any celebrity I know so far in that series. Because the girl who um, they had a girl actually do the physical aspect of the Megan at times. So there was a mixture of CGI, animatronic, real life, just a mixture of stuff. But they did a really good job with it. Um, uh, what is that? I probably couldn't put them on the Xboxes, forcing parents to be parents. Well, you know what? Sometimes parents have to stop leaving someone else to do the job. I lived in Seattle 1 year when rainforest 93 days straight. Serial killer fuel. Wow, that's insane. I was one of the parents losing my mind. Oh, okay, so you're a parent as well. All right. Um,
Why
uh,
was you losing your mind? You gotta keep that thing. You gotta keep a good eye on that thing. Stop letting it wander from you.
Look, I'm just here to watch and see how you do this thing. You got it. Rain, rainforest rained. Rainforest rained. I don't when it. Oh, I'm thinking they're trying to say rainforest equals rained, so they must
So,
have
you,
misspelled.
like a monsoon.
Yeah, when it rained 93 days straight. Yeah, that's a lot. Wow. See now, a long time ago when Katrina came through, right through Louisiana and all that stuff, the excess, right, the excess from the hurricane came up to Indiana, and it was raining for at least a week's time, and it would just downpour, 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 and it got to the point where you would have rivers, the ground would be so saturated that they'd start flowing, bits of water would start leaking into our basement. Not much, but some. And yeah, that was an interesting time. It was like 7 days of rain. Yes. And then it's like, oh, 7 days of rain. Ooh.
I remember when it flooded in Toledo, and there was like a river of water just going down one of the main streets.
Honey, where's the canoe?
Basically.
Jeez, that's insane. I was busy trying to keep the child and dog from wandering off in the snow. Hey, look, you know what? If they get lost in the snow, all you do is whistle back, and they might come. And then she says I only have two eyes. I only have two eyes too, so I get your feeling, but I'm not a parent, so I don't get that part. But yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, it's a crazy time for wherever you're at for weather wise. But 93 days of rain straight, that's insane. That is insane.
I
So
have an
why,
umbrella.
huh?
I have an umbrella.
Not only do you have a dark sense of humor, your sarcasm is on point too. Um, um, but why go from Illinois to? Well, I mean, other than the weather thing, of course, but why go from Illinois to Texas?
No, no, no. I've never been to Illinois.
Oh,
I was
okay.
in Ohio, and I went from
Oh,
Ohio to Michigan, from
mm,
Michigan to West Virginia, from West Virginia to Tacoma, from
mm,
Tacoma back to West Virginia, from West Virginia to back to Toledo, then
mm,
to San Diego,
mm.
then back up to uh back over to West Virginia. Then from West Virginia I went back to uh I went to Bremerton, and then from Bremerton I came down here to Texas.
Man, that's a lot of moving. Goodness sake. I've moved only a few times, and that's usually staying within the same area, really. But wow. Uh, but it's so surprising, though. I've worked with Corpus, and they tell stories about dudes getting out their John boats and going down the road with them after hurricanes. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And then Carrie says, no one uses umbrellas in Seattle unless you're a tourist. Hey, well, you know what? I'll probably be one of those people. Well, it is what it is. Um, but anyway, it is so it's the top of the hour. And what I do is, I know you don't have anything great, but just to explain, um, I do this thing where I set aside time for me and the other person to promote ourselves if they have something they want to promote. Because it's just a bit of giving back, and that's also a timekeeper, right? Like, oh, we did an hour, all that stuff. So I don't know if you want to promote anything or whatever, or if you just want to be silly on something.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll promote better mental health and focusing on drinking plenty of water and staying active enough so that your brain doesn't have time to wander on you.
No truer words. No truer words than that. Unfortunately, some people either miss that, or they don't feel they don't have time for that, or they don't know. And it sucks when you have people who kind of go down the rabbit hole and have a hard time getting out of it. Um, there's a wild of many. But from my end, everyone, whether you're on the Rumble side or whether you're on the YouTube side, if you wouldn't mind, leave a like, comment, sharing the stuff, or follow. Any of it or all of it doesn't matter. What matters is helping out with the engagement, because the engagement helps me not only be seen more, but also helps in having other different people on, like Demonic here, which was through the Fringe. Was it Fellowship Fringe or Fringe Fellowship?
Fringe Fellowship,
Yeah, Society.
Fellowship Fringe Society.
Fellowship Fringe Society. Yes, through a Discord that a gentleman by the name of Problematic John on Twitter X had created to kind of connect a whole bunch of different creators. So thank you for that, Problematic John. But yes, definitely helps in and just being seen more, to have more people on, and because whether you're a creator or not, it doesn't matter. It just, if you want to come on and just have an opportunity to talk about whatever, we've done that for the past hours. So hopefully, hopefully you'll be able to look, uh, help with that part, the engagement, and also if you want to find out what's I'm at, there's a link down below. Twitter X, Discord, email, my YouTube and Rumble are in there as well. Again, guys, if you want to come on, if you want to take up the opportunity to come on, you can go there, find my links, or you can leave a comment on either YouTube or Rumble, because at the end of the day, um, I'm doing this to have many different people on with many different perspectives, and just enjoy the time of getting to converse with other people, because at the end of the day, we're in a state of like diverted attention and division, and all that stuff, and we're not really coming to the table and just sitting and talking about what we can do, and all that stuff. It's just blah blah blah. But that's what I'm trying to do with this, is just trying to bring either creator or not on, just have a great time with it. So again, any help with the engagement, and check my link down below. I appreciate you all. It helps out a lot. So no one you're not missing much. Oh, I drank water today. Oh, look at that. See, you already got someone who drank water today. Look, one up. Got one up right there. Yeah. Uh, you, you gotta give her like a gold star or something, then she'll feel really appreciative. actually, um, actually, I can do this. So I have some emotes uh, that are stars. So there we go. There you go. A gold star for next right there. Great job. Well, you're on the YouTube side. I can't. I don't. I'm not monetized on the YouTube side, so I can't have emotes over there. But if you see this next, there you go. Gold star. Gold star just for you. Remember, drink lots of water. Because, goodness gracious. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I just figured to give the gold star as a nice gesture. But, oh, where we at? But yeah, I do this thing because I've met a lot of different people through this. A big chunk of them are creators, but at the end of the day, it's not about because I'm not a creator spotlight sort of thing. Because there's a lot of people out there that do creator spotlights. It's not my gig. Um, it's more just about having people on conversing about whatever, and it's worked well so far. I've had over 100 different people at this point, which is a surprise to me every time.
I, fir- I first saw you when you had Libertarian Goth on.
Oh yeah, was that the first or second time?
I'm not sure on that front. One
Yeah,
or the other.
yeah. She's been on twice, and she's lovely. Of course, she's lovely. But I'll see if I can't get her back on next time. But yeah, she's been on twice so far. The first time was interesting because she was going from her laptop or whatever, and this time was a bit different, but I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, she's a pretty good egg, and I chat with her once in a blue moon on Twitter X. So I'm guessing you follow her for like her because she has like a store and stuff. Have you ever bought anything from her store? Yeah.
I have a few of her shirts.
Oh yeah. Which ones do you have?
I have the what is it? It's the IRS vampire shirt,
Oh,
vampire
nice.
slayer shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I have the ATF shirt
Mm-hmm.
and the hedgehog shirt
Ooh, she did a hedgehog shirt. Oh man, I gotta look that up.
or porcupine. I'm not
Oh,
sure which one
porcupine.
it is. I think it's porcupine.
Okay, yeah, because she's
The
done.
libertarian animal symbol.
Oh, libertarian. Oh, I didn't know libertarians had an animal in the first place.
Yeah, it's you probably think it's the bite off of the whole donkey elephant thing that the Republicans and Democrats have.
Yeah, I can see that, but I usually don't. She's a friend of ours. Oh, that's great. That's great. She's a really yeah. I enjoy company and have her on when she is available to. Because I once asked her like what your work stuff, and she says I work almost every day. So I'm like, oh, all right. I didn't know it was that kind of job. So, but yeah, she makes some pretty good stuff. She makes a bunch of what are they called, tumblers. I know she's done tumblers and a few other things, but she designs a majority of it. Hey, UB, how's it going, good sir? It's all right. It's all right. And hedgehog shirt. Exactly. No, 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 no. It's probably a hedgehog, as in like an actual hedgehog or porcupine, whichever one. Because I don't personally know. I don't. I mean, I know about the Republican Democrat one, but that's like over a huge period of time. Um, I'm doing well, good sir. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. You chilling? Yeah. No, I saw you posted a video today, so I hope that went well, and all that stuff. So, um,
Yeah, it's a porcupine.
porcupine. Okay. Yeah, that's a little more dangerous then because porcupines have those sharp quills they can fire off. Um, I always wanted a hedgehog. Yeah, it's not a hedgehog though. It's a porcupine. A little more dangerous.
I
Although,
still want to have. I'd own a porcupine or a hedgehog.
You own what? One of them or both of them?
I'd say that I'd want to own both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a sibling who wants to own a hedgehog. Because a little, small, whatever, but they have a very particular health regimen you have to take care of. Because they are very susceptible to getting sick to some degree. So at least it's what I was told. I'm not sure if it's fully true. That woman is always doing something. She got the house. Like, yeah, she do. She's either getting money off that Twitter X grind, or she's doing her stuff from her store. And name him Sonic. Yeah, Porcupine. Name him Sonic. I don't know how well that's gonna turn out. Um, prickly friend. That is true. That is true. But don't be the one getting pricked, because I hear they're barbed pens or barbed stuff. Oh, all right. Well, have a good one, Nix. Hope to see you next time. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know you were. I didn't know you had seen me from that. But yeah, it's been ages since I had her on, unfortunately. But that's how life goes. It is. Um, but does that? I mean, do you follow her for her art take, or for her artwork take, or for her political takes, or for her goth stuff?
Oh, it was just one of those situations where X said that I should follow this person, and I looked at what the bio said, and I said, sure, why not?
Yeah, they certainly does recommend you people you probably don't want, or majority of the time anyway, but not always.
Nowadays it's trying to tell me to follow the people that I troll the posts of. So
Ooh.
that's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're having fun out of it, there you go. Pigs are shaped in such a way that so they go in easy but don't pull out. Yeah, yeah, I've seen those stories. Um,
Sounds like a cat.
well, cats have their claws, and that's a
No,
whole different.
no, no, no. I was talking about the way that they mate.
Oh, okay, for porcupines. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Um, but
No,
yeah.
no, no. I'm saying that the what he said sounds like. Never mind. I'll explain it to you.
It's gonna be like the time. Okay, kids, this is the birds and the bees, and we're gonna explain it this way. No, but you're saying it's a mating faction, is what you're trying to explain. For what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, it almost sounds like oh man, it would be worse. It'd be worse as a hyena, right? Because of all that stuff. So I don't want to be in that.
Oh, I
Um,
remember seeing something about that. Yeah, no.
no, thank you. I don't want any part of that. I'm walking away. Um, but yeah, I'm not very political myself, but unfortunately, we have to. No, Steve, no, no, it's not kinky at all. It is not. I am not. It does not sound interesting to me on that part at all. Nope. But no, I was just going to say I'm not very political, I guess, on that matter. I'm just not a person of politics, but I get the why in some cases, but many times it feels like it's just a time waster at best. But what do I know? I'm just here trying to conversate with others, not trying to convince a battalion of people for something.
Oh yeah. I never go into any political conversation trying to convince anyone of anything.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm pretty sure you've gone into conversation and be like, "What the hell's going on here?
Oh, all the time.
What's time wasted?" No, no, no. No, time wasted, as in like time wasting on politics. Yeah, you not. No, 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 no. I just don't care. I just don't care as much as many other people do, because it's not for me. Politics it's man made, obviously, but it's man made because we didn't have very much else to do and we needed a thing to argue over. So compare it to any sport, and you already have the same thing. So that's what I think of it. Um,
Definitely here in America, it's like a sport, but in like even as close as Canada, they don't have shirts with their politicians on them and stuff like that, or
mhm.
hats with who they're gonna vote for. That's an American thing. That's just what we do because we can't be civilized about stuff. We have to argue about it.
Um, it depends on what kind of countries you want to talk about being civilized, because there's a lot of them that aren't. Unfortunately,
That's true. That is true.
China is certainly one. Let me just throw out that one right there. Um, you can't tell us that we are civilized like you people.
Mm.
No,
What about
no.
those human rights violations?
Yeah, what about those? What are those people you put in coffin boxes to sleep in? Um, yeah, it's. Then you have India. India's no better position, obviously. Um, Almost looks like a, for some, at least I've heard it's not the best. Um, then you can have just different aspects, maybe like not, was it Thailand or the Philippines or something like that. Just strictness stuff. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of civilized, as one will put it, in other places. But you aren't wrong on the aspect of how we've turned it into a sports game, essentially. Right? We've turned politics into a sports game of who's
Yeah,
the
what
winner.
team are you on?
I'm on team. I don't give a rat's behind.
Yeah, but that's what it is though. It's so what team do you back? And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, are you voting this way or that way? I'm gonna vote for who I think's gonna work best. How about that?
Let me just vote for the third option. Says "f you." Should just walk in with a shirt that just says has the letters F and U. Are just like, what? What are you trying to say? It's like, exactly. Now get out of my way. Um, but yeah, I just don't care. When you're younger, you don't really know much, and so you kind of just, either if you have parents or whatever, you've kind of followed through that. But at the end of it, though, when you get older, you kind of, just from my perspective, right? Not going to speak for anyone else. Just from my perspective, you kind of get to see the ridiculous of it, because if you've seen enough sports stuff, right? Like, say the Super Bowl, right? See the Super Bowl. Oh, teams. What are they doing the majority of the time for the Super Bowl?
Playing commercials,
So, what is the Super Bowl really about?
money.
Well, yeah, well, it's pretty much anything, but it's just about the businesses. Now, that I will say, some of them have made some pretty good commercials or funny commercials, but at the end of the day, the Super Bowl is nothing more than just glorified commercial, right? And commercials alone are so, like, it can't go back to regular cable TV or whatever, because it. I had a family. My family, we went camping at like a KOA campground, and uh, one of they have cabins there and whatnot that you can rent and stuff. And so in one of the cabins, some of the cabins, they have a television, for your cable and whatnot. There were less show and more commercials than I had ever seen before or ever remember before. I'm just like, this. Why am I even watching this?
Right.
Like, what the
Oh,
hell? Okay.
I can't think of the last time that I've ever watched something on cable. It's got to be at least a decade ago.
It's it, even in the like the video platforming thing, YouTube. Goodness sake, there are commercials all over. But that's why I have what I have, because I don't have to watch commercials.
Right?
I guess yeah, you have a skip button, but I have to watch at least 5 seconds to 15 seconds of an ad in order for me to skip it. I'm like, no, thank you.
And then you get the ads that are crazy long and you can't skip them, and you're like, really? Why?
Then like 30 seconds, 2 minutes. Like, why do we need to watch a minute commercial? This makes no sense, right? It, it's so contriving that I have to watch something in order for a platform to survive. which in one sense makes sense, but in another sense, just yeah, it's just insane. But yeah, I just at the end of the day, do what you will. I don't know who you vote for, but at the end of the day, I just find it as about as silly as a any sports team, because at the end of it, I don't know what to tell you. There's always going to be another person that's a Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, somewhere along the lines. They're gonna have someone else. What about platforms? Uh, that's dependent on the platform themselves, right? Because you already have enough platforms out there. You have a big point of choosing. But for right now, the big one is YouTube, because it can handle a bunch of different things and it's mostly well known. It's been there since like 2005, way before.
YouTube YouTube outshines everything else because you can find just about anything that you want to watch on there.
And
Whereas with Netflix or something like that, that's just a confined uh, group of things that you can watch.
and
And while it used to be good
mm,
back when they were the only competitor on the market,
yeah,
but now that you have all these different streaming platforms with all the different shows scattered all around between them, you
mm,
end up paying something that's close to a cable bill like you used to. Especially with them adding the ultra premium options where you get no commercials because they realized that they needed commercials to actually make money.
yeah. Oddly enough, and to get around it, it's like the same with YouTube, right? You buy the premium in order not to see the commercials and all that, but some of that kind of goes to the creators and whatnot. But for me, it's sort of it's sometimes it's the a platform's only way to support itself, because it costs a lot of money to run servers, to hire people, to all this stuff, and you know stuff like the YouTube, for instance, right? YouTube, Google, that's like billions upon billions of dollars running through that. And I think YouTube keeps is a red for Google. I think, I'm not too sure, uh, but they just now I just know. Yeah, no, that's true. I don't have to install an ad blocker. I have that with Brave. And then we were about to say something.
No, no, no. I was reading the Rumble chat from UB Legend.
Yeah, I was about to pull it up. He says Rumble's having a creative program. I'm guessing it's gonna be similar to KCIP. Or was that Kicks thing? KCIP? I don't know what it stands
I
for,
don't
but
know.
yeah. My question is, you want to have dashboard and things to back up the stats, data of how people found. So I think I saw that post. It was Chris had mentioned something, and while it's a nice sounding idea, my issue with what he said is that go okay. So a few days ago, I think it was winter, a Saturday, uh, Silver Fox had put out a video, and I don't know if you've ever seen Silver Fox or not. He's just a creator on Rumble, and he was kind of sporting. It felt like the gaming section wasn't getting noticed and all this other stuff. But he also mentioned that he was embarrassed, uh, of not advocating. What is the another word? It's not advocating something. It's promoting something. That's like promoting the Rumble app, because there were issues with it and all this other stuff. So while the incentive program, which I Kicks incentive program. Okay, so that's what KCIP is. Okay, while I get the incentive program for content creators, whatever, my issue is that the tech side needs to catch up for Rumble in order for it to be worth more. Because the incentive program is only going to do as good as their tech ability. Um, and that's just my perspective. I don't know how in depth you are on platform stuff. But
I haven't used a lot of Rumble personally. The times that I have is only to watch like a certain creator that I found elsewhere.
mhm,
And that seems to be their biggest problem, I think, is that people aren't going to Rumble to watch something off the rip until you can get people to think of Rumble as a true competitor in that sense.
Yeah,
Never gonna really get off the ground because you gotta get the common person interested in pulling up Rumble as their go-to source.
yeah, and the point I've heard many times made by other people is that it's seen as more of a political site, which is one of the problems they have. Was also my issue too of, while it's great, getting the support for the gaming feature, gaming side on Rumble. My issue is that I don't want that turning into another monolith, because the politics side is a monolith on Rumble, and
Yeah,
so now you're taking that energy, or not even taking very much energy from it, but now you're taking that stance and you're turning it to gaming. So now gaming is going to turn into a monolith because you're only focusing on that part. Now I understand the for that is you kind of have to start with baby steps, right? You don't have to start one block after another, block after brother. But at the end point is that it should be the total of Rumble, not just one section. Because if you want people coming to Rumble, like you said, DIY, right? DIY, silly stuff, how-to videos, a whole smorgasbord of stuff needs to happen, and they're not promoting that very much, and that's part of also the issue too. Is while right now, because it's the election season, that's where most of the money's going to come from. Is
right.
all the stuff is going at. So that's part of the thing too. Issue though is that what happens after, right? Where's the backup plan for being more than just the politics side? Now, I'm not gonna be like hammered down the fist, slapping everyone. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I see you, Cyber Mushroom. Yeah, yeah. I see you. I see you. Keep it up, good sir. Um, but at the end of the day, though, you're right. If they want to be seen as competitor, they have to draw people who are people who don't care about politics as much. It was just everything else. And yeah, you could say, "Oh, gaming's part of that." You say that's great, but gaming is a small fraction of what you really want to do. You need to open up the
So
whole. Oh, sorry.
I think the reason why they're trying to get on the gaming bandwagon is because gaming's the last biggest entertainment moneymaker going on right now with the whole movie making industry in crisis. So they're
Yeah.
trying to latch on to that in some way, shape, or form and make money off of that,
Mhm.
which is all good and well. But just like you were saying, not gonna that's not really gonna draw a lot of people.
Yeah. It's.
That's gonna draw a niche crowd that might like watching games, but for the most part, it's only little kids that like watching games.
Mhm.
So how are you gonna get little kids interested in Rumble? You're probably not.
Yeah, and not only that, but their tech stuff has to be in a well working order. That's not gonna, because I hear the stories. I mean, I'm not gonna say I believe it all, right? Because people can do this and that, but I'm not gonna just dissipate it off and say, it's not true. So there's that. But I do think they need to do the whole pie rather than just slices of. And going to the DBU legend up here, I'll admit that they should have waited the program like later, have the tech advance first. Yeah, exactly. They I don't know why he's. It's sort of with the. So a funny thing to me that happened a while back was that he was leaking shorts, right? That Rumble was going to have their version of shorts, but it's not really leaking. If it's coming from the CEO, it's more like hyping up. Uh,
Right.
really. So it's like wait, you're the CEO, so it's not really leaking. It's you just showing something you want to hype up for. That's what got me. I was like, why would you say it's leaking? I was a little confused. Like you're not really leaking it if you're the CEO. You're showing people what's coming next.
That's a preview at that point.
It's a preview at that point. It's like how does the wording become this? And I just had laughed myself. I was like, that's not a leak. That's a preview. I just have to laugh at how the wording was used. Um,
That's
Uh,
not how you start the controversy. You're supposed to have your assistant release it under a pseudonym.
Look, how did Deadpool get out so well? All right, someone leaked the demo video, right? Ryan Reynolds doesn't know, but someone leaked that video, and where are we at? We're at movie number 3, right? That's how you do it. This just felt like, hey guys, this is what's coming, but we're leaking it. We're really leaking it. That really didn't do much. Steve says, I barely use it for myself, only to see certain people that got banned by the mob. Hey, I wasn't banned, but I thank you anyway. Um, they're worried about kick too much. They're worried about kick too much focus on YouTube. Wait. Are you saying they're worried about kick more than YouTube, or they're worried about kick as much as YouTube? Because I'm a little confused. They're worried about kick too much, focus on YouTube. Oh, okay. I'm reading it. They're worried about kick too much, focus on YouTube. Agree to a point because they should worry about them all, right? Kick, Twitch, Odyssey, all that stuff. But the point of the matter is the reason why YouTube, other than age-wise, right? Because like 19, 20 years now. The point of the matter is they can handle 3 different things: shorts, live streaming, pre-recorded videos. No other platform I see is doing that right now, other than maybe Odyssey. But you have Kick and Twitch. They're doing live streaming. Um,
YouTube even has playables.
what do you mean by that? Playables? Is that shorts or?
No, it's just a tab where you can pull up like mobile games and play them.
That's right. I have seen that a bit. I was wondering what you meant by playables. I'm like, man, I don't know, but they do have playable web games. I think is what they're called because they just click on them or whatever. Um, Chat works here too. Yeah. Of course it works here, Steve. Come on. Da, da, da. I feel saying, well, Cyber Mario, you make yourself well known, so I have to see you every time. Every time. Oh, I see you too, Steve. Come on now. Politics are important. I think the Twitter page is a start, but they need to focus on strategic updates to their site, to their apps, to Rumble Studios. They need to be strategic about what updates that need updating, and delegate, because it feels like, and just my perspective, so don't at me, pros. It feels like they don't have a focus, or they have a focus, but they just use like smoke and mirrors to not show they have focus. And so that's where I'm at. Do they have focus of what needs to be done, or are they just showing that it's all over the place because they are competing against other platforms, and all that stuff? But yes, that gaming on Rumble thing is a start, but they got to get faster. Right. They're competing against platforms that are already well established, and they've got to get better at finding and finding the places where they can get these updates going from up there. I'll show again. Hey, you know what? I heard what you said on Phoenix's stream. Okay, I heard what you and Tiny Panda and Panda Sub said. So don't. Guys are a bunch of monsters over there.
I think mostly what they're trying to do with the whole gaming thing is just to pivot away from the image of being a political brand.
Which could work, but it needs to be more because I won't say they don't have time, but because they are competing against people who are well established, they don't have time.
The only way that they successfully pull that off, in my mind, is if they offered an established content creator, if you want to call them that, or streamer, and get them to come over to Rumble. If you do that and get them to come exclusively to Rumble, then maybe.
Yeah, they have done, in essence, giving contracts like, what was it, Mizgif, I think is the name. It's an Asian dude. There was, I think they did Sneeko. and a few others. But at the end of the day, though, they still multi-stream to the other platforms. So there's
That's
that.
what I'm saying. They got to get that exclusivity. If
Yeah.
they get an exclusivity deal, which I don't see how they'd ever get that in today's day and age with everyone doing multi-streams to, you know,
Yeah.
get a
Supplement.
bigger
Yeah.
income coming in, then how are you gonna get someone to sign that kind of contract when they can get a contract with whoever and they'll still be able to multi-stream because
Mm-hmm.
Kick isn't gonna tell you not to multi-stream. They don't care if you multi-stream.
Mm-hmm.
They just want people in their chats donating money.
Yeah. No, and Steve's got a point. Yeah, I think exclusivity is really crippling a streamer. Yeah. Uh, I mean, you could exclusivize some parts of their shows, right? Maybe do this and then they do an hour or so after. But at the end of it, exclusivity would have to be humongous amounts of money because the creator, whoever they are, if they're a big name or not, they're giving up a lot of other stuff in order to come to you and say, "Come here, do all this stuff." And if there are tech issues, if there are support, you know, support from that platform issues, guess what? They're dealing with an up battling hill, and I do think um, that for some, they feel like that on Rumble. But that's also the platforms too, right? Like YouTube has its issues. Twitch definitely has its issues. Twitch definitely has its issues. And Kick.
I think it's what you said though. I think it's mostly just the political aspect of it where people see it in a negative spotlight, so
Yeah,
they're leery of bringing their brand so that they
yeah,
don't get any of that on their brand.
yeah.
And a lot of the people that have those big brands have a fan base that
Mhm,
has a preconceived notion of what Rumble is.
mhm. Yeah, no, that's true. If you become exclusive, you do become there. The whole with the whole you can't say this or yeah, that's true. That's why I promote multi-platform because, like with many people who just started doing just YouTube, right? You've already seen what happens with YouTube and all this stuff. So being exclusive just to YouTube means death for a creator. May the money and reach may look great, but if they toss you under the bus, well, goodbye.
You better hope that your presence on social media is big enough to get monetized.
Yeah, especially with the Twitter X stuff, right? When they added monetization for Twitter X, it changed from being about making for the sake of making to I'm going to make this bait post because I can get money from it and this and that and this and it just
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I remember X or Twitter, however you want to word it,
yeah,
back in 2012, 2011, when it was just about making posts to make a post,
yep,
or predominantly someone advertising a service of some sort.
yep. I mean, you still saw, I think you still saw ads. I think they still even had ads back then, but to take
No,
a
what I mean is like if you followed depending on who you was following, depended on like what you was seeing. So if
oh
you
yeah,
followed like a lot of big name people, it was mostly just advertisements for whatever they had coming up next. If
yeah,
you followed YouTube creators, it would be advertisements for their next video. But sprinkled in between that, you get actual interactions from these people.
yeah, yeah. Once you get too big, it's hard to keep that interaction up. To be honest, but some do try. But yeah, it feels like there's an answer here, but it's going to require an open discussion from them uh, on the Rumble aspect, and whether they're willing to have it or not, I don't know. But there is something I'm going to try to do next month. Um, my I'm like doing a my own version of a roundtable, whatever, and what I'm hoping to try to do with it is uh, it have it be a data collection point because I'm not sure what data Rumble's even looking at, or if they're even collecting data at all of like, what do people want, majority of their users want for the platform or their creators or whatever. So that's what I hope to do. And so uh, once the data is collected, I, with my semi-genius brain, will try to clean that up and send it out there so that people can get like, oh, so this is how many didn't stop by. This is from the amount. This is what they said and all this stuff. But no, again, I'm not promising perfection, to be honest, because this would be like me trying something I've never done before. But I do believe people need to see the data to at least get some idea of what people want better for Rumble, because I'm here. I want better for Rumble, but they've got to have the sit down conversation. And it can't be just, we're going to focus on one thing here, here, here. You're at a stage you can't just do one thing. You must get multiple things going, um, and work, because you're up against the clock, and these big ones say, ah, ha ha, boo you.
Yeah.
So that's just me. But yes, for those who are watching, in November 23rd, I'll be doing my own thing called Rumble Squared, roundtable, but it's called Rumble Squared, and it'll be. I already have the spots filled. UB Legend, of course, is coming on to that. Looking forward to that, and so many others. It'll be 7 people total, and it will just be, discussing some positives. Well, it'll be this. It'll be discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of Rumble, and finding positive, um, forward-thinking ways of helping it and all this stuff, but also trying to open that door for communication with those who are working there, or the CEO or whatnot, or the board, whichever you want to call it. Because enough's enough. We need to find out what focus on what's uh, a majority of the people want on the platform, who use the platform. Like, what is the majority item they want, updates, stuff like that, because their tech stuff is behind for their app. A lot of people are saying that, not just me. So, but that's the end of that. But yeah, so 23rd of November, that'll be happening. So I hope many people. No, the 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I tried to do it sometime after the whole election ordeal, but also before Thanksgiving, which is should be enough time. But yes. Anyway, besides that point, getting away from that, because I'm here to talk to you, not to talk about other stuff. Um, oh man, what was that? So you went and saw the Deadpool. What did you think about the other 2 Deadpool movies then?
So I really liked the first one.
Mm,
The second one was fun. It had an interesting premise. I could see what comic book they were trying to pull from,
mm,
or at least what story they were trying to pull from in the comics. Because Deadpool did try and save a young mutant in the comics because
really?
of who he's gonna grow up into.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so I understood where they're coming from with that one. With the third one, uh, what I didn't like about the second one was how they tried to do the 2.0 or 2.5 with where it was like PG-13.
Mm,
I didn't like that. I didn't like how the second one had more of an emphasis on just trying to have as many jokes as they could,
right.
and less on
Understandable.
the actual combat.
Mm,
And then what I didn't like about the third one is the just the let's sit in a diner and have a conversation, let's walk and talk, let's it's like why are we getting these long scenes of just talk exposition in a comic
yeah.
book movie?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't have much an issue with that, because we're not dealing with the same uh, Wolverine per se, um, as like the other ones. But no, I can see that. My thing was is that uh, we really, in all of its worth, we've never really gotten to see uh, Deadpool's true love interest, which is Lady Death, right? Uh,
Right.
it's the same thing with the Infinity War and Endgame stuff is Thanos did none of that for balance of the universe. It never was about the balance of the universe. Now he did in the comics, because I watched someone read the comic out loud, a comic story or something like that, and they read the Infinity Gauntlet sort of thing. And in the series, it's not, he did snap it and half the universe went, but it wasn't about balance. It was about his love for Mistress Death.
Yeah, he's trying
And
to impress her.
yeah, yeah, basically, well, yeah, some would say simp, but at a point, it is the ultimate thing in the Marvel universe's Mistress Death. And so, you had a lot of players that probably couldn't because of copyright stuff, which I don't know if Mistress Death was ever a copyright issue, because of what Silver Surfer was involved, Captain America, the Fantastic Four were involved, a whole bunch of the characters throughout the Marvel was involved, including I think some of the heavenly ones too, like Thor, no, not Thor, uh, Odin, and some of the other uh, high up gods as well. But it's just that was because again, there's that sharing between Lady Death between Deadpool and Thanos.
Yeah.
And if you ever read and if you ever seen the comics, I've never read the comics, but I've seen other people on YouTube talk about it. The Lady Death with Deadpool is more comic relief, comedic, that sort of thing. Whereas with Thanos, it's more dark, gritty, disastrous, death-wise, all this stuff. So there's two different inferences you see
Yeah.
with it back and forth. But again, they do share that relationship with her. And I think the game. Did you ever play the game, the Deadpool one?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, but it did kind of go do that. With Nolan North, of course, was voicing Deadpool, but the but of course he had late Mr. Steth appear and all that stuff, and it's very comedic. But yeah, it felt like something left out, especially if you're a comic reader, right? You'd want to see some form of it, but they went the other way, and especially for the whole Tony Stark stuff, right? Tony
Right.
Stark giving up his life, which kind of made sense in closing his ordeal. But this is comic books, right? Like nobody stays dead for long.
Right. Well,
So
after they did that, they should have just waited like 5 years and then came out with a Fantastic Four or an X-Men movie.
they were trying to run off that money high that made from Endgame, which is insane, but it did earn it, and that
Oh
was
yeah.
that was the only way they had, well, not the only way, but the big way they had earned that response was over what a decade or so of just a story build up movie, right? From Iron Man 2008, the first Iron Man, and then all the way to Endgame. There was a story build up, right, between each movie where it's just you'd never seen that before. At least as far as I remembered, you'd never seen a movie series, a movie universe built out of a story, and then the end part and all this stuff. That's what that made the end credits so special in Marvel movies, because you knew that was building up to the next movie.
Right.
That's what they did well at. But then they kind of flipped the script after. Um, Now I won't say that. What was it? The Spider-Man um, No Way Home wasn't great. It was nice getting to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield again. But the problem of it is that it should have stopped. Like you said, it should have stopped with Endgame and just gave it some time to breathe, because he just killed off one of the biggest main two of the biggest main characters off that series, Captain
Right.
America and Tony Stark. And part of the reason I
They
believe
they
why.
also killed off Black Widow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the Soul Stone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, the one reason I think they did kill off Stark and Steve Rogers was because the contracts for both Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. were up,
Right, and
and
they were probably wanting a lot of money to keep doing it.
well, I think there was word out that they didn't want to keep being typecast. They wanted to do something else, uh, other than that, and so I think that's why they stopped. Hey, Adam Gray, how are you, good sir? Nice to see you again. I've had him on before. Uh, yeah, shut down. But yeah, from what I remember, right, and I could be wrong, is that their contracts were up and they just didn't want to keep doing this anymore because once you get into it, you were being typecast as, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. It kind of is because he built that character.
You see who he's playing now, right?
He was, well, there was a movie of Dr. Doolittle. I remember
No,
that.
he's gonna be Doctor Doom in the new.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Yep. And that's just, you. Now I've heard stories that could be like an Iron Man Doctor Doom, but at the end of the day, you've created this character for so long, and he's been gone for a little while. But now you're gonna bring him back as a different character. No,
Gonna
it's not
bring
gonna
him
work.
back as a villain. Yeah, that's just what we want.
Yeah, maybe you say it's from another universe, but at the end of the day, you're not changing anything. It's like bringing back Chris Evans for what's a really good enemy character. Um, Trying to think of a really good enemy character. It's like trying to bring back Chris Evans to be the Shocker from Spider-Man, right?
It's like
Or
bringing back Chris Evans to play Red Skull.
there you, he's playing his enemy. But yeah, that's exactly it. It's just why? Because it's all about money in the end for them. It's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, they should have stopped after Endgame because they lost a lot of steam after that fact, and of course having the Marvel stuff and all these other ones that didn't help. You know,
No,
y-
they just started releasing stuff just to release it in a way. A lot
yeah,
of stuff got greenlit that it shouldn't have, and it was all just a way to virtue signal to the audience.
yeah. Because you remember the show Shield, right?
Yeah,
So that was, that show would run in continuance with the movies, which was great because then you have this, you know, bits and pieces of what happened after the fact. After the big guys do the thing, what's the little guys, on the ground sort of stuff. And that I think that only lasted maybe 5 years. I think 5 seasons. Sorry. Um, but it was kind of nice having that in between the movies because they could fill those gaps of the collection of all this damage and all this stuff. But then that went away, and then you had this thing with the what was the one with the Scarlet Witch? I can't remember what Scarlet
Doctor
Vision.
Strange, Multitude of Madness, and
Well, yeah,
then
yeah,
she was also in
WandaVision,
yeah,
WandaVision, yeah, and yeah, and after the secondary, um, the for the multiverse of madness, they kind of ruined um the what was his name again? For the sorcerer.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Apologies. They kind of ruined him after
That's I think that's why you had that joke in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, that's right. I can't remember what it is exactly, but they had the point of like, "Ooh, there's that circle thing," or where, yeah, because
Marvel Sparkle.
yeah, where she, I think
Marvel
it was,
Sparkle Circle. That's what he said. Marvel Sparkle Circle.
Marvel Sparkle Circle. But yeah, I remember that point where
You want
Clarissa
me
or
to tell
whatever.
you what she said? Cassandra Nova. She said, amateur magician came through here a while back. I wore his skin for 3 days. I found this in one of his pockets.
Now, see, well, I guess it could make sense calling him an amateur because once he disappeared, he who was it? Wu? Was it the Asian guy who became the Sorcerer Supreme because he
Yeah,
got
Wong.
snapped? Wong. Yeah, because Strange got snapped, right? He got
Yeah.
snapped in the so he got snapped. He was gone for a while, and so he sort of lost that title. So I guess that would make sense. But when she said that, I thought of Wong because I thought that's what she meant. But I mean, yeah,
Could have been
um,
Wong. I don't know.
could have been Wong. But yeah, because two Wongs don't make it right. But anyway, I had to make the joke. But yeah, it's just it was Sam Raimi who directed that movie, the Multiverse of Madness. But at the end of it, it was it was a whack job, and they really made Wanda's character, from my perspective, right? Because we remember Age of Ultron. That's where we were introduced to them, and of course, through down that line, they had their moments. And what was her because her brother was murdered,
Killed off immediately.
kill him, which is dumb. It's like, why wouldn't you want? I mean, he wasn't a bad Quicksilver, to be honest. He was a pretty good Quicksilver. Aaron Taylor Johnson is the guy's name.
Right.
He was a
Wasn't he also the guy in Kick-Ass?
yeah, in both of them. Yeah, that was a long time ago though. Whew, man. Um, but yeah, he wasn't a bad Quicksilver, and of course he had the Quicksilver from uh, the X-Men side of it, right? Because that was still Fox. And he was pretty good Quicksilver too. So it was like, um, but yeah, it was just but I guess they kind of needed a death, and I'm just like, okay, all right, well that goes a pretty good character. Um, but yeah, so she went crazy and all that stuff. And I never watched WandaVision. There's so many content creators that were talking about this show that was like, oh, I'll just pick up those pieces because I have no interest in giving Disney any more money than these people seem to give them. Isn't it funny that their livelihood depends on watching these things, and they don't want to give them, they mock them or whatever, mock them or whatnot. That's fine, but in order to get the commentary on those things, they have to watch it. So in a weird way, they're kind of giving them the attention they want, but they'll make fun of for later on to those things. And I'm just like, but
I think it's hilarious, especially when you hear him say stuff like they want another season of something, like the Acolyte just got canceled, and
yeah,
there's that campaign going around to get people to sign up for it to
yeah.
come back. And a few of the content creators that were mocking it signed the petition.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's like, I made good money that week. Bring it back.
Oh
Go
my god.
for it. Burn more money. We don't
Mm,
care.
that just tells me that it is just about the money, to be honest. Because I just find that fun. I did not know that. I did not know some went inside. I'm just like, really? You want this thing to continue because it'll make you more money? Oh my gosh, are you that bored? Are you that dull and anything else coming out that you need this thing to continue? Because there's another thing too is I saw a bunch of them say no one was watching the Acolyte. And I'm like, wait a second. First off, you watched the Acolyte, so you cannot say no one watched the Acolyte. And two, not enough people watched the Acolyte for it to continue. That's the
Hey,
truth.
hey now, don't you misgender them.
And they can go screw themselves. No, it was just a weird thing for me to see content creators say no one watched it. I'm like, no, that's not true.
That's factually incorrect, sir. You watched it.
Yeah, but the problem of it is that's hyperbole, right? It
Yeah.
failed because no one watched it. No, people did watch it. It just wasn't enough to financially to continue. But nobody cares about being factually correct or being correct in the manner of here's the evidence I presented to you. I could be right, I could be wrong, whatever. No, they say nobody watched it. incorrect.
I like I think it's OMB Reviews. I like his channel because he actually gives you the numbers of who showed up and who didn't show up.
Mm,
How much it spent to produce whatever it was and how
yeah,
much they needed to make recoup.
yeah. Because what is it? The Doctor Who, right? You see these people show like the numbers going down, not enough people watching it, and yet they'll still keep going after it because it's still going on. My thought is, hey, if you wanted to change, take the money away. That's the only thing.
Right?
That's the only thing these companies respond to. Hollywood, foreign entities. Of course, not foreign entities, but the UK for Doctor Who. That's all these people understand is money, right? Especially content creators. You take the money away from them, like money speaks louder. Sorry, money speaks louder than your mocking, because once the money goes, they're out of a job unless they get some, like, what is it, the DEI thing, or infusion of cash, whatever. And of course, we've seen Disney is willing to spend as much money as possible in order to make these things. I'm like, okay, all right, keep draining it away. I won't
Right?
give you any money, but keep going for it. I won't stop you, but you won't see any of my money. But that's,
Yeah, the only money I spent on anything Disney was that Deadpool and Wolverine.
yes, yeah, same. I enjoyed. I saw it twice. It was good. Um, but that's more of, that's your money. You spend it how you want. Don't let some critic, don't let me, don't, Dematic, whatever, tell you how to spend your money. Your money is your money. For me, my thing, these content creators, if they really wanted to make a difference, other than the mocking faction, they just stop watching altogether. They support
Oh,
the,
definitely.
yeah.
When I was thinking about starting my own channel, I had considered doing film review because I actually took a class on video and film review.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought about doing that, and then I after thinking about it, I was like, I'd want to do something more niche,
Yeah.
focus on like horror films or something like that, and just review those because that way I'm not in the whole sphere of most content creators that do that, where it's you're in one of two camps. Either you're shilling for the industry
Mhm,
and you're making your money that way, or
mhm.
you're just going and seeing stuff you don't like, and now you got to talk about it. That
I
sounds
don't.
miserable.
It does, and I don't get it. I get it. It's because I'm making the content, so I can tell you all about it and all this stuff and making the money. But what is it about? Is it, if you're going to, if your originality of why you made content before you had any money was to see these things, talk about it, whatever, fine, that's great. If you're a movie reviewer, you go see any movie just to give a review on it because you want people to have the best of information without whatever. And for me, some of these movie reviewers, right? They will tell you it's not great, but you go and see it, you're like, wait a second, I enjoyed this movie. What are you talking about? Right?
Yeah, like with the Joker 2 and how a lot of people are saying that it's not a great film. I haven't seen it myself,
Mhm.
but my mom, when I was texting with her, she was talking about going and seeing it. And instead of saying anything about what I've heard about it or anything like that, I just told her to have fun.
I will say the biggest indicator that shows that it might not have been a great movie is the money factor, right? That's probably usually a better indicator of it not doing well, is that it made less than what it costs to make it, right? I think, or what they budgeted for. I don't know how the wording is, but if the money doesn't show, uh, that it's making well enough, then it shows that it is a bad movie. And I'd rather judge it that way than by someone who went to go and see and says, "Yeah, it was a bad movie." It's like, no, nobody went to go. No, not many people went to go see it because it's not making enough money to pay back its original budget, because there's the budget, there's what was spent, and then there's you have to so I think it is whatever was originally spent, you have to double it in order to earn back your money, or break even, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
um, and I think right now they haven't broken even yet. Um,
A lot of the times when you see the budgets, they're not including stuff like marketing and whatnot in that.
mm-hmm,
They just give you how much it costs to produce it.
mm-hmm. Yep. So what you see could be, what, 50 million, 100 million less, in that ballpark, at least I would think. Um, but that's why I don't.
Easily.
Yeah, but that's why I don't do that, because you already have 1,000 other content creators doing it, and they can't live by their principle of sort. They just, oh, I'm just mocking whatever. It's like, yeah, but you're also making money on it. So are you living by the principle of wanting to support independence and all that stuff, or are you just wanting to make that dough so you're all that jazz? So I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of it, I'm just going to. If I do a review of a movie, I will speak honestly on it while not spoiling it, right? Because you want people to at least give it a shot. But if they don't go see it, hey, well, guess what? They made their choice. That's their money, and
Oh yeah.
that's the more important part. But anyway, it is the top of the hour again, and I think we'll go in and here, because I got one, I have to get to work in the morning, and two, I have to set up for tomorrow's stream as well. But Demonic, I do thank you for coming on. I know this is a weird thing to do, but it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool so far, especially since your fiance fiance came in the chat, so that's pretty awesome as well. Um, but anyway, but yes, we're gonna end it here, but we're gonna do our stuff first. So I don't know if you have any other words of wisdom you'd like to do other than the mental health, drink water, and all that stuff, or you just want to repeat that, whatever you want to do.
Nah, it's okay. I don't got nothing. You guys
Yep.
have a good evening.
Yeah. And of course, for my thing, whether you're on Rumble, whether you're on YouTube, it doesn't matter. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a follow, leaving a comment, whatever you can on either end for the engagement factor. Because again, guys, engagement helps to be seen more, as you all know from all the other content creators. But it also can lead to other people coming on too, right? I've had many people I've met, whether it be on someone else's stream, through the Discord stuff like Demon here, or some other faction, where I get to invite them on, and we have a great time out of it. And of course, Demon right now is not a content creator. He's thinking about it, but at the end of the day, it's not just about content creators. It's about having different perspectives, different people on, talking about whatever, and just having fun with that time, because we're not really doing that right now. We're really just speaking past each other in some regard. We're not really speaking towards each other, and it leads to uh, not having a conversation, which could change things, but you'll never know. But anyway, any help with the engagement is much appreciated on either Rumble, YouTube, both, doesn't matter. One or the other is much appreciated. And of course, I have a link down below. And you go there, you'll see my other links: Twitter X, Discord, email, and of course the Rumble and YouTube. But you can go there, you can find my stuff, or if you'd like to come on yourself, you can leave a comment on either Rumble or YouTube, or just go to the link and find me there. So again, guys, I appreciate it, and I hope tomorrow I'll see you. So tomorrow I have a gentleman on who's been on before. His name is Uncle Pudge, or Pudge TV. He'll be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, I put the schedule out on Twitter X earlier yesterday. So if you can check out who the rest of the guests are coming. So, but yes, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will have on Uncle Pudge, and I hope you'll be able to stop by for that. He's a pretty cool dude. He has worked in the social media industry for quite some time, so he does have his own businesses here and there. So be pretty awesome. But yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And of course, one last thing before we go. So Demonic, there's a thing I have at the end of the show when I have a guest. I have a thing called Questions from Matt. So I bought a half a Rumble and all that stuff, and I put some questions in there. So what happens is that the guest gets 2 questions out of it. And if I'm not monetized on YouTube, so sorry guys, but if you're on the Rumble side, you can send a rant, and that will add to having another question pulled out. So again, right now it's only 2. If anyone wants another question, I'll send a rant and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to pull out the first question. I'm not looking, so there's no condemning of cheating or whatever. I don't want to be told like, oh, he's cheating, he's looking at it. It's like, no, I just felt with my hands. All right, here's the first one, and let's see what it says. What's the question? Oh, here we go. This may be one right up your alley. What is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word.
Yes.
Probably fuckery.
I can see the uses for it. That's pretty funny though. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness sake. All right. Let's check out question number 2. Just trying to switch it around, trying to make sure I don't pick up the same question. And here we go. All right. Had a purple one. Had a yellow one. This is a purple one. Let us see what the question states. All right. And I crumpled up, so it's taking a few seconds. All right. Oh, okay. So this may be a bit self-centered. I forgot this question was in there. Since you've been on here, what do you think about the show? This show.
I think that's an interesting avenue of content creation that you don't see often. You don't see people just having a conversation without a clear goal necessarily of a topic. Like
Yeah.
there's no real topic involved. It's more authentic, so it's more fluid.
Yeah. That's what I would try to go for is the organic flow of it, right? Just so if it flows, you can just it's like like if you during the summer, right? You go to a river and you're on an inner tube with your friends and you just kind of going with the flow of the river. It's basically what I think of that. There have been some people where it's a bit difficult because nervous or whatever, so you have that. Or there was been one or two where it's been like drawing water from stone. So yeah, but I revel in the challenge because the challenge makes me uh, get better at adapting those sort of people, but also in improving sort of thing. But yeah, it is kind of just improvised. And no, thank you. I uh, I do like doing this because I get to meet people like you, UB Legend, and so many other people. Because again, like you just said, we you don't see it very often. You don't see people just coming together. And another thing too, I would add to that is that you see these content creators, but they stay within their circle, right? They may add like one new guest once a week or twice a week, whatever, but they don't really switch out, the whole ordeal, or they don't really whatever. They just kind of stick within their circle, which is fine. I get it. You build relationships, you build friendships. I've built relationships. I've built some friendships on here, which has been great. But I do try to not only expand my horizons, but to kind of confront my own bias and better myself on that subject because you see a lot of people react. Twitter X, great place to bring that example to. You see a lot of people get defensive on things said to them or whatever when they're only getting half the story, right? They're only getting words. They're not getting the emotional aspect that you or I can hear from our voice or by how we react, whatever. Um, but yeah, they are. It is definitely a interesting time in social media, but that's why I do it is to have fun with the guest, just talk to them about whatever and see where it goes. And there's always next time, right? This isn't the first time. And you're always welcome to come back if you'd like. Um, I'm mostly tolerated. Well, you've never been on the show, Steve, so I can't tolerate someone who's never been on. All right. All right. Most of the time, you're already half asleep anyway. So there is that. Um, but yes, you're always welcome to come back, Demonic, and again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Uncle Pudge will be on. So I thank you all for being here. I thank my guest Demonic for being on here. I hope there'll be next time because it's been awesome just talking about whatever or whatever comes to mind. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's basically what it is. But anyway, guys, as always, um, so the person whose stuff I use for the intro and outro, his name is Pogo. If anyone is ever wanting to check out his stuff, I have linked his link for his channel down below. So all you got to do is go down to the description, press that link. You're there at his stuff, and all the videos that I've used in the back end, they're there. So, except for Ingenuity, that I had to find somewhere else, but it's still his stuff. So, but anyway, guys, as always, we end out with One Day With You by Pogo. And of course, Demonic, don't forget to mute yourself. Again, One Day With You by Pogo. Hope to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m., guys. Have a great night. And yeah, ciao. Here we go.